It's a quick turnaround for the Thunder. It's game one of the Western Conference Finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I've got Lou Dort here with me. And Lou, you had maybe about 48 hours to turn this around and get ready for a new opponent, but another division opponent as you come off that Game 7 victory against Denver. Just, I guess, tell me what this 48 hours has been like. Obviously, the thrill of winning that Game 7 the way that you did, and then having to get reset and back to 0-0.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, it was a good win a couple nights ago. It kind of gave us some confidence to keep going, and then we know the type of team that we are. And then now it's a quick turnaround. We're facing another team. We had a good day to prep and see what we have to do to win the game.
You look at that 7-game series against Denver, a championship level team. You guys did it together. Everybody on the team who was in the game made an impact at some point in that series. What does that do for your group as you head into now a new challenge?
It does a lot. I mean, it's just shown that we getting better still at this point of the season, and then we getting our confidence back. We know what we're capable of. We know that whenever we play as a team and together, we really hard to beat. So we just got to keep doing that.
This Minnesota team, you played them 4 times during the regular season. You guys weren't totally healthy at some points. They weren't totally healthy at some points. Do you take anything as sort of keys heading into this from those games, or are you looking more at what they did last round?
A little bit of everything, honestly. I mean, that's a good team. They got a lot of good players. Like I said, we got to do our stuff. Go out there, compete. But there's a bunch of stuff that we can learn from their past series and also some of the time we played them in the regular season.
A guy specifically that you're obviously going to spend a lot of time on is Anthony Edwards. Obviously, incredible athlete, but he's taking a lot more threes, sometimes 10 a game. You just came off of playing a great point of attack guard in Jamal Murray. How primed and ready are you for this physical matchup?
I'm ready. He's a great player. He's going to make a lot of tough shots, but just got to make it tough. He has the ball a lot. He has a lot of freedom over there too as well. So whatever I can do to make it tough for him, I'll do it.
Throughout the course of the last series, when you all face zone, you and Kaysen and Aaron Wiggins, some of these guys that were playing off the catch, did such a great job of being able to pierce that defense, either on cuts or knocking down some timely shots. With the way Minnesota may defend you all, maybe some zone, maybe some man, but definitely a lot of pressure. What are some keys for you guys playing off the ball?
Honestly, play poise, reading the defense, and play like we always play. Just got to go out there and find the best shot. Whenever we got to have the ball, we got to make the best decision we can make, and then find the best shot.
Your wiggle, your decision making, your ability to play make off the catch. How much do you feel like that's grown over the course of your time here and put you in prime position to be that secondary playmaker here in the playoffs?
Yeah, a lot. Experience, honestly. I mean, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. Credit to the coaching staff here that helped me through that. But whenever I got the ball, I just got to make the right play.
And then I just want to ask you about 2 of your, offensive engines, in Shea and J-Dub, and the way that they've played off of each other throughout the course of the year. And it's never seems like a your turn, my turn thing. It just feels like in the flow of what you guys are doing as a 5-man group. But obviously they're important to be able to get some scoring production. How have you seen them handle these moments?
They've been good. Good games, bad game, whatever. They always keep their head up and they keep leading the team, and they have the ball a lot, so they're gonna make a lot of good plays for us, and we trust them to do that.
I think there's some fans that were still there at Game 7 that have still been living in the arena here for 48 hours, ready for Game 1. How excited are you for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals?
We're real excited. I mean, our fans give us so much boost and energy, and we thank them so much, and they were a big part of the reason why we won Game 7.
All right, well, thanks. Good luck out there tonight, Lou.
Thank you.
All right, that's Lou Dort. I'm Nick Gallo, and this is Thunder Basketball. Alex, what's your kind of take on Minnesota as a team that you all saw 4 times this year, and obviously has been playing some really good basketball lately?
Yeah, I mean, since All-Star break, they've been, I think, statistically one of the best teams in the league, right up there with us and a couple other guys. So obviously they're really confident. I mean, everybody should be going to the conference finals. You won 2 series, so I don't think there'll be a shortage of confidence for either team. Difference schematically, different team build than Denver last series, so we kind of have to wipe the slate clean and get ready for a little bit more pressure. Probably a lot more man than we saw against Denver. They had a good team, and they've had a couple of days rest, so I'm sure they're eager to get playing. Hopefully we can use the continuity of playing 2 days ago to our advantage and have a little more chemistry, a little more flow.
Something that you guys have been working on all year is early decisions, quick decisions. given their pressure, just how critical is that going to be in this series?
Yeah, just taking what they give us. They, like I said, they pressure a lot. So whether that's moving off the ball or being aggressive with the ball, getting to the paint, making good decisions, just making sure that we're reading the game.
A lot of their season's been about figuring out the fit with Randall in particular. After obviously he was traded right before camp, he's playing awfully well now. What are you seeing from him? You know, what kind of challenges does he present?
Yeah, I mean, he's two-time All-Star, one time?
I think 3 times.
3 times, yeah. I mean, multiple-time All-Star, like, guys being capable. It's not like he's not, coming out of the blue and nobody knew he could play like this. Like, he's been a good player in this league for some time, and I think he's found, a good home and fit with this team. And obviously through the playoffs, he's been really efficient, played really well, and, been a major part of their success. So just making sure we have the right, respect with how well he's playing and not, think about when he had the end of his New York stint and everything was kind of haywire. Like, he's come to Minnesota and found a good home and found a really good rhythm.
What are the keys against them, especially how well he's shooting the 3 right now, too? Kind of complicates.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to take rhythm from guys. That's part of, what we had success with in the first 2 rounds is when we climb up into the ball and are active and play, to the pace and tempo that we want to defensively. Usually we have good outcomes. But you give good players, time and space and rhythm on the outside, whether it's, Ant shooting 10 threes a game or if it's Julius picking and choosing, they're going to make them. So just making it tough on them and climbing into the ball a little bit.
Are there similarities or the matchup with him and Jared Jackson Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, from a physicality standpoint, yes. I think Julius has a little more footwork and skill base where Jaren kind of, at least in my case, he tried to just overpower me, and he plays a lot more like a post when he is in the mid range, where Julius kind of has jabs and spin moves to fades and stuff like that. But as far as like physicality standpoint and a strength standpoint, yeah, they both look to set the tone that way and be the first and be the aggressor.
Have you ever defended bigs nearly as much as you have been like?
Yeah, I mean, my last year or 2 in Chicago, there's a week stretch where I guarded like Giannis and Zion and then Steph and Ja. So it just comes with the nature of it. I've gotten a lot of experience from guarding that, and then earlier this year, me and Dub were playing the 5, so a lot of post work, invaluable experience that is paying dividends now for us.
Do you like it?
Like, dislike, it's my job. We're out there and get stops. Whether the game tells me to go battle with 300-pound guys or get over screens on the perimeter, I'll be ready for it.
What's it like? I mean, having those different matchups, going from you might be guarding Randall one possession to the next time you check in, maybe you're guarding Ant.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's a bit of an ego boost for me just because it's fun to be able to get stops. And I take pride in guarding the best players in the world, and I have for a handful of years now. It's where a lot of my value is created in this league and started. So obviously I relish the challenge just because I'm super competitive. It's never easy. Obviously, these are the most talented players in the world, especially offensively. So just being ready for whatever the game throws at me, whether it's, like I said, out on the perimeter or down low.
If it is Ant, I know there's probably a million challenges that he brings, but what do you see specifically with the way he plays, and obviously a big change from you from Joker to potentially him?
Yeah, I mean, he this year I think he's stressed the importance of kind of spacing the floor with his shot. I mean, he's taken, like I said earlier, 10 threes a game attempts, making a good clip too. So it's not like you can't, you have to respect that. And then his athleticism is, 1% of the 1%. Being able to change directions, get downhill, be strong. So those two things kind of balance off of each other and play off of each other. So the threat of him shooting brings you out, and then obviously his athleticism and quickness to get by you is there too. So yeah, it's a difficult matchup. That's why he's an all-star and been one of the best players in the league the last couple of years. But that's why we're here.
Dub obviously has a lot on his plate, a lot of pressure for a young guy, up and down offensively. How do you see him kind of handle the mental challenges that come along with that? And, what advice are you giving there?
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to help him understand that you can't live and die with one moment. Like it's a series for a reason. It's not the NCAA tournament where it's one game and you're done. I haven't played great some games. Some games I've played, out of this world. But every game, trying to help him focus and realize that like you got to go back and get back in the starting block and go again. Like, everything that happened isn't important anymore. Like, staying present, and coach has done a good job of harping on that too all year. Just being present. We talk about stacking possessions and trying to win possessions all the time. Just trying to center him and focus on that. And I think he's done a good job. He responded well the other night, Game 7, and that's what you look for. When nobody's going to play perfect basketball at any point in time. At some point, you're going to have a bad game or a game that's under your standard, and how you respond to that is the real test of who you are.
How do you, I guess, sense the fatigue or non-fatigue level of this team, where you did just go through kind of this 7-game war, but also the months prior to that was like a lot of long breaks? And
To be honest, we don't have time to worry about if you're tired or not. Like, we're 8 games away from winning a championship. Like 4 games away from getting to the finals. All that's kind of out the window. Like, you just show up and do your job.
Can I just follow up on that you spoke already about the quick turnaround from Game 7? Is it more physical or mentally challenging to go from such a big build up to that game and now starting almost a mini marathon again of another series?
I'd probably say mentally, just from from a standpoint of getting that hunger and desire back, realizing it's 0-0 and you have to go start again. But also just, different team, different styles, different players, tendencies, like all that stuff is new. So like almost just amnesia. You have to wipe the slate clean of everything that you've just worked on for 12 days, 14 days, 15 days, however long it was. And refocus on the new principles and disciplines that is going into this matchup in this series.
anybody else?
Good stuff. Thanks, Alice.
Thank you.